Well, look at that. Sorry, guys, last minute, but I was on time. I was on time. I like how Holly Day said, "Hi, relatable." That's funny. I'm cool with that. What's going on with everyone? I'll tell you what's going on right now, right here, right now. Look at this little boy. Look at our special boy. Our special boy is not special anymore because he likes to kill mice. And Kestrel, hey Joanne Ventrilla. I look like a lumberjack today. I always think girls look cute in plaid shirts until I put one on. And then every time I put one on and go out in public, people go, Sir, can you chop this wood for me, please? Hey, Lori Helker. Oh, he's so cute, though. Look at my little boy. He's my special boy. Is he so cute? Yeah, this is Lumberjack Reese. Hey, Lumen. Look at our special boy. I love this cat so much. And I also, hey, Catherine B. I also love Moosey. Where's your brother? They are bonded. Hey, Puka Vista, Amy Edge. Fantastic. That all just went into my fresh water. Cool. I don't know if you guys know, but having cats and other pets in the home, it's just a tree of hair. It's just trees of hair. You can't eat anything. Amber's glass. I gotta go grab that. Amber's glass. I might have to show it next time because I have to go get it, and I don't. I guess I could. I look really bad though. I don't really want to get up. Lisa Kelson, Layla Bradley, hey Panko, Tamber June, Marion Calabro. Yeah, it's serious though. Like I'm like cute. I see a girl in like fall apparel, and then I try to do it every time I leave the house. They're like, "Hey, sir." Oh, sorry, Abigail. Thank you, Abigail. Hey, Kayla Brennan, Mary Barons, Armine, Marie Marion. Thank you, Tamber June. It's freezing here. Just as I am, Brian Webb. We just got back from our walk, actually. Noelle in Carnosol. I might in Carnosol. I might. Hey, Andy, welcome. Amber Vaness. Peg Hughes is here. Lisa Kelson, cat hair in my soup. I thought it was just cat hair soup at this point. Brian, thank you for asking. Therapy went fantastic. I made a bunch of notes. We're going to share those. Oh, Panko, thank you so much. I love hearing that. Cheryl Anderson. Sharona's here. Simone Farron is with us. Kathy loves horses. I love seeing you. It's not very common. I know you're on the other side of the world. By the way, Helena, I hope you're doing okay, girl. Hey, Anita Carr, a lumberjill. I never pull it off. I laugh every time. I see a girl in a really cute plaid. I'm like, dang, that's cute. I got to get out the one plaid that I own. Every time. Every time. Someone goes, hey, sir, can you split this wood? You spoke to my heart your last show. Pam Fredette, thank you for saying that. That was a really good show, and I loved it so much. Thank you for validating that. Hey, P. Taylor, Liz Tricks, I sleep with it every night, so don't be fooling, girl. Sherry Davidson. Yeah, Cheryl Roberts. David Bruce. Oh, that's sad though. Your German Shepherd has been gone almost a year now, but I still have her hair. Well, that's really sweet actually. And German Shepherds are the worst at that. They shed so bad. So sorry. Hey, Dory. Margie Barr is here. Susie with an S. Yeah, Lisa Kelson. I wear a fake beard. Hey, I don't have to. What are you guys talking about? Wear a fake beard. I'm Italian. Like, this is real. I haven't tended to it in 3 days. When I went to Florida and I was going to be out in the sun, every time you're in the sun, it glistens and really shines on your beard. Plus, I was going to be around people like up close. You know, what if I hug someone and I scratch their face with my beard? So since I got home, I've really let it fly. And it's real. I don't need a fake beard. Jazzy Girl Sarah, Just a Northern Girl, Witchy Trista, Squirrel Girl's here. It is not snowing here. No. Jessica West, Candace, Joel Sachs. I love Joel Sachs. Beware of the Dolls. Oh, you're very LL Bean up north. I love LL Bean, Panko. I'm all about that. Little J. Crew in there. Carol Barnhart's here. Hey, Pepper Jelly. Who else is here? What else is going on with you guys? What else can you tell me about the third grade? Jeannie Wright. Kayla Brennan. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, Holly Day. I'm not sure. Can you email me? That's concerning. I need to know. I need to know more about that. Silverbird, I wore my cute wreath sweater today. It's puffy sleeves. Oh, that's cute. I love a puff sleeve. Everybody knows it. I don't care who knows it. Hey, Annette Faber. My mods are welcoming. They are the best. And they're the best looking. It's kind of weird, but I'm shallow like that. Only the hottest mods. Only the Lord's sexiest mods work for the Relatable Reese channel. I'm so sorry. Kim is blue. Ooh, I don't do mouse traps. I can't do that. That's too depressing. I would rather feed them than kill them. That's horrible. Iwa, Susie. Oh man, St. Bernard's. Yeah, no joke. I don't think so, Abigail. I was going to email you about that. I saw you say something about it. No. Huskies too, for sure, David Bruce. Dang, Panko. Hey, DS Kitty. Yeah, we have the Lord's sexiest mods here over on Relatable Reese, and I had to say it. Somebody had to say it. Has that guy who was missing been found? That's a great question. Is Better Together in here yet? Usually she kind of trickles in after we start. That's a great question. I'd like to know the answer to. Thank you for asking. Do you really, Suzanne Rec? I don't have a mouse problem, guys. So during the daytime, hey, Shelly, you're welcome, Snake. I was looking at you, brother. Mouse problem. You have two reasons. So, guys, you're not going to like this. Shauna B, baby steps during the day. Don't do it at night. Nobody freak out. Both of these boys, now not Kid is not included in this conversation. Both of these cats came from the barn. They were dumped and rescued from the farm. Okay. I cannot keep them inside. Huxley and I cannot. It's just an interesting title, really, Robin Miners, I thought. I can't keep them in. Huxley and I open the door and they go flying out. Now, catching up on friendship tax for you and Huxley. Thank you, Kathy Loves Horses. I love that girl. Thank you for your super chat. Hey, Anne from Massachusetts. You taught me that. It's not Maine. They're hot, Panko. We have hot mods. We have hot, sexiest mods. Hey, Angie Mo. Speaking of hot, she's really cute too. They go outside during the day. There's nothing I can do to control it. I cannot open a freaking door. Leticia, welcome. I cannot open a door without them going out. However, they don't go out at night because I will crap my pants if they go out at night. There's too many predators, and they don't. We've never had an issue with it. However, it's adorable. They love each other. They play. I watch them in the yard. They don't go far. They stay right out in the backyard, out in the open, but they tumble and they jump and they go in the air and they do flips and they're so cute. However, the last couple of weeks since we started this little process, almost daily, there's either a bird shredded out back or they're each running around with like little moles or little mice in their mouth. Now, they don't kill them, which is I get very traumatized by this. So what happens is when they show up at the door and the thing's in its mouth, freaking out, screaming, I simply pick up the cat drops the mouse, and we go inside, and the cats get very upset. But I go, run, my friend, run, find your mother. And they run away. So that's kind of how we've been living. That's the way it is over here in the country time. They play with them. It's awful. That's sad, Leticia. Are you new, by the way? Welcome. Hey, Dawn. Did I say hi to you already? Guys, it's been a day. Yeah, they do. Hey, Sarah Browett. Good to see you, babe. Hey, Barbara Waite. They're bringing me gifts. Well, I think it's also because it's that time of year. It's the holidays. And speaking of the holidays, What's worse than going to Costco this time of year? Kelly Suds, what's worse? Can anybody think of what's worse going to Costco the week before Thanksgiving? Anybody? 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 I'll tell you what I learned today. What's worse? Peg Hughes, I'll look for that. The only thing worse than going to Costco the week before Thanksgiving is making the mistake of taking your mother to Costco the week before Thanksgiving. It's definitely worse. Oh no, they had plenty of turkeys, Abigail, plenty of turkeys. I think that's what the missing thing is. If you take your mom a week before, yeah, it was, thank you, Shannon C. Yep, Lisa Kelson gets it. Yeah, Dawn, you can't get carrots. They're like, apparently everybody's getting the craps from it. I took my mom to Costco. It was really rough. My mom doesn't get out much. I drive her around. I kind of take her places. Of course, we go for my dad's chemo. I found out today that I'm never going to do it again. My mom, because I think she doesn't get out much anymore, she really has trouble. She's almost worse than me dropping into the new world and talking to people. It's different. It's definitely different. And she doesn't seem to understand how anything works in the world. Like she questions everything. I was like, I don't think I can do this. I was like, God's testing my patience. You got to have patience. That's what they say around here. Patience. Yeah, Holly Day. It was wild, Panko. And I just find that my mother has reverted back to almost like a small child. Like I feel like how Huxley was when he was like 3. My mom was like, we need to find toilet bowl cleaner. And I'm like, okay, it's over here. And we get like one aisle away from it. And I was like, it's down that aisle. And she was like, it's too far. Let's just go. I'll get it at the dollar store. And I was like, but we already walked all the way to the back of the store and I got to get cat food anyway. Like just I just noticed weird little things about my mom today. And I finally she just gave up. My mom just took off. Like she was like, you just call me. She was like, I'll be over here. Then she just left. I got the toilet bowl cleaner. I bring it to her. And she was like, that looks really heavy. I was like, well, yeah, hey, Meredith Lynn. It was just one thing after the next. It was odd. And I said, well, I'll carry it for you, Mom. And she was like, well, how much is it? And I was like, $11.99. She was like, okay, we'll just keep it in the cart. And it was just like one thing after the next. She was like, do they sell pillows here? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, but where? Aw, look who it is. Reese, you look great. Got to run. Love you, babe. You're adorable too, by the way. I took my mom to Costco today, and I feel like you knew this, but it's also a lot. It's a lot to handle. Hey, Mr. Pants. I was like, they do sell pillows. And she was like, well, where are the pillows? I feel like I had to hold her hand through everything today. Jeanette Brown. But it's my mom, like lately, she goes, so do they sell pillows? And I said, yes, Mom. And she goes, what kind? I said, they sell the standard size and the king size. She's like, but where are they? And I was like, well, they're directly across. Like, here's the cereal. They're directly across. And she was like, oh, I don't want to have to do that. Joe Virus, I hope you're back. Hey, look who it is. Nat. That's fancy. You never come over here. Damn it. Good to see you, Nat. I love you, girl. I don't know what day it is, by the way. Does anybody know? I keep thinking it's Tuesday, but I think it's Thursday. It's a lot. What kind of pillows, Laura Font? I don't know. The point is, my mom, well, it's like she just wants to know answers, but she doesn't want to follow through, if that makes sense. Hey, Jen Sell, I was like, the pillows are directly across. We're standing by the Cheerios. If you just go straight, the pillows. And how do I know this? Like, I know where everything is in that store. So we get to the point of that, but then she gives up. She's like, never mind. I'll just order some on Amazon. I'm like, why are we getting, like, we get to the edge, but you don't want to follow through. Same thing. Hey, true to it. She was like, let's get a veggie tray for Thanksgiving. And I was like, great, perfect, great idea. So we go into the produce section, we look at the veggie trays, and she's like, but are they going to last until next week? I walk her all the way over there. I'm standing in the freezing cold produce room. And she's like, I don't know if they're going to last. I'm like, Mom, I can't stand in here. It's freezing. And she was like, well, pick one with a good expiration date. And I pick one. She goes, what are those? And I was like, baby bell peppers. Like, what's going on that you haven't been out in the world yet today? It's really got weird for me. It got real weird real fast. And then she just gave up. Like, we looked at the turkeys, we looked at the ham, and she was like, I think we should just make a chicken pot pie. I was like, we can't make a chicken pot pie. I talked to my sister for 2 hours yesterday about the Thanksgiving plan, Mom. We can't just do a chicken pot pie. She just gave up on life, like in the middle of Costco today. So I talk her out of the chicken pot pie. Hey, Lisa Tate. And then we walk like 7 more steps. And I thought I got her back on track about Thanksgiving. Like, I was like, I've got a whole list, like everything's good. And she stops in the middle of Costco and looks at me and she goes, I don't know. She goes, should we just get some cheese? And that's when I really laughed. And I said, Mom, I'm going to do this every week with you. This is great content. And she goes, are you going to talk about this on your show? And I said, of course I'm going to talk about this on my show. You're absolutely ridiculous today. Like, hi, I'm Earth. Have we met? And she goes, I'm not going to watch it. I don't want to know. And I said, well, you don't have to know. You don't watch it anyway, but this is worth the content, girl. Yeah. My mom is overwhelmed by, of course, my dad's medical. She's overwhelmed easily. This is, should we just get some cheese? That was the breaking point. Tori, welcome. Good to see you, Tori. That was the breaking point. She just exhaled. She was like, she went, I don't know. Should we just get some cheese? I was like, for Thanksgiving? Yeah, we should definitely get some cheese. And we did. We got the sliced cheese tray. I'm actually probably looking forward to that the most. My favorite time of day. Kay Thompson, I love you, girl. Good to see you. My poor mom. But I have to say this. I am so happy to live here and to be in her presence. Like, we had lunch together today. Like, I ran her all over the place. I had to take her to Walgreens to get her prescriptions. Like, I have to say, like, my mother, you can tell, her stress level has gone from here way down since I moved here. Like, she doesn't like to drive. So, like, I don't mind driving her. She has no friends. So, like, we go out to lunch once or twice a week. We try to get out and, like, Vanessa, I love these two, girl. I love these two. Yeah, that's what I said, Rain. Yeah, I have to say, like, yes, she's stressed, but I think we are much happier being in each other's space. Like, she's opening up, she's talking. Sassy Savage, that sounds terrifying. Hey, Just Joan. Like, I really have noticed a difference in my mom, and she's also, her defenses have come way down. Like, I love that I have therapy because I feel so much more calm with her. Hey, Downs mom, Cindy B. Hey, Lupita. I feel, I have to say this, like, it really, thank you, Hannah Joe. Yeah. Everybody thought whenever I put on my lumberjack outfit, guys always come up to me and go, hey, dude. Hey, sir, can you help me chop this wood? And then I have to turn around. They're like, oh, I thought you were a guy in that. I never pull it off. I never look like that cute girl. Hey, Rach, I'm never that Beach Bum Beagle. I'm never that cute girl in the lumber. I always think I'm going to pull this off, and then it never happens. Yeah, little Cracker Barrel. Cassie, Beans, Mama's here. Did I see Itchy Thetans? So I do have to say, like, as stressed as my mom is, I know her life is much better with me here. I just know it. We had some deep talks. Her defenses have come down, if that makes sense. Like, she's seeing things a little differently, and I'm trying to help kind of guide her as far as, like, not everybody's an enemy. Like, we don't have to assume the worst. Let's try to be a little bit more positive. Thank you, Tori. My mom tends to kind of flip to the negative, if that makes sense. Now, I do too. It's definitely built into me, mainly Linda. But I feel like, without upsetting her, I will say, like, well, Mom, thank you, Mr. Pants. Like, hey, Aaron Cooper. I'm like, well, Mom, let's try to look at it from, like, a different perspective. And I feel like in the past, my mom used to go, well, that's not how I see it. Like, just very defensive, right? Joanne Hawley. But now I feel like she goes, that's a different way to look at it. Like I don't know, that sounds stupid and simple, but it's a huge gift to me because I know my mom does easily get stressed. Krista Johnson, welcome. Jay Brimble. Oh, I'm sorry you don't have your mother. It's really hard. I know that. I know that. I don't know that, but I've been told how hard it is. Lisa, welcome. And I'm very thankful to have my mom. Especially like this will be our first Thanksgiving together since I was 6 years old. Annie Strews, welcome. Laura DePreet, our first Thanksgiving together with my sister since I was 6 years old. Like this is going to be fascinating. I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be very different for me too, guys, like very different for me. I've always had a Scientology Thanksgiving, which is basically no Thanksgiving. This will be my second Thanksgiving with my child. Huxley turned 15 on Sunday. This will be my second Thanksgiving with him. I've never had a Thanksgiving with my kid till last year. That was my first one. They took him away from me every year to another state to have Thanksgiving. So I've always had it by myself. Trisha from Minnesota. Me too, girl. We'll do it again. Hey, Jane. Yeah, Mandy Albert. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about this. I think it's going to be chaotic, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm just with my dad being sick, like I'm just taking it all in. Hey, Anon, I'm very thankful. That's the only way I'm looking at it, right? Yeah, Samantha. You did, Joe Virus. That was really sweet of you guys. How did I reconnect with my mom from when you stayed with your dad? I didn't. My dad did not really let my mom around us. I saw her a few times after I was 6 years old. She would come visit in Omaha because my mom's from Omaha, right? Hey, Elena Rainerman. I need to answer your email. I know you emailed me. My dad never let my mom really come around the kids. So when I joined staff at the Church of Scientology when I was just turning 14, my mom was in Scientology. She got out in 1991. So, hey, Mike, I have been in Scientology way longer than my mom. Now, my mom got far in Scientology. She did a lot of training. She did a lot of courses and she made it to the state of clear. So it's not like she doesn't remember it, right? But I joined staff. And then when I left staff, I became a drug addict, a meth head. And then I called my mom and checked in on her life. And she had a marriage that was really going downhill. And he was a raging drunk and very abusive. And he was starting to get threatening, like physically. He was like threatening to kill her. It was getting real weird. I am going to cook, Tori, for sure. I do cook every year, definitely. So I wanted to get off drugs. I didn't tell her I was on drugs. Hey, Tony's Hooter. And I came to Kansas City to move in with her to protect her from this crazy guy. Well, I'm glad I did because he ended up getting super abusive when I was there. I called 911. We put him in jail and she got divorced and I moved her out. And it was just kind of crazy. So that was at the age of 18. That's the first time I really got together with my mom, got to know my mom. So I would say my mom and I have always kind of had more of like I'm crazy about my mom. I don't know that I would call it though, like a maternal mother-daughter friend. Like it's more of a friendship. We're very deeply tied and close there. I think of her as my mom, but I don't like, it started pretty much when I was 18. So, this is going to be really special. This is going to be something new and I'm excited about it. I'm excited for it. I haven't had any kind of a holiday with my sister since I was 7. So this will be really interesting. It will be a lot of fun and I'm looking forward to it. Me too, Tori. God, me too. So I'm really happy I'm here. My mom is a bit of a loner. Thank you, Jeannie Wright. My mom is a bit of a loner. Thanks, True to It. She does not have a lot of friends, I would say. She does not get close to people. She's pretty withdrawn. She's isolated. And so coming here means the world to me to see kind of the change in her. She's more open to people. She's like, she's just not trusting. She's very withdrawn. So I feel like every day I get an opportunity to be like, well, wait. Let's look at this. Like, let's not assume. Let's not assume the worst. And she's really kind of taking to that. And I'm very thankful about that. Thanks, Lori Ellingson. So Disney Fanatic 87 is a longtime lurker. Just needed to say thank you, Reese, for always being a place to turn to when I needed to shut out the world around me. I always love seeing your look for the day. Wow. That is such a cool thing to say. And thank you for coming out of lurker mode. I love when lurkers come out and just kind of say hello. So thank you for saying that's quite a compliment, Disney Fanatic. Thank you. Evil Blue Eye, I am too. This is going to be something. I'm sure it's going to, oh yeah. My mom has had a lot of trauma, a lot. And it's not, my mom's kind of old school. I don't know. There's some women, my mom is 68 years old. So I know there's women in the chat at that age. I have a question for the older generation, like the probably 60s and above women. My mom still will not, my mom has always said to me, you're not for everybody, Reese. Like not everybody's, my mom has taken a long time to even accept who I am. And I think she's coming around, but I am so the opposite of my mother. Okay. Yeah. Ren listens. Like what I mean by that is like, I'm very loud. What is that? Some weird piece of plastic sitting here. I'm very loud. I say obviously what's on my mind. I overshare. My mom's the opposite. My mom's kind of old school. Like she's hey Bo Beats. She's just very closed up and she doesn't feel like anybody should be like she's just very private. She's very private. And I think it's taken her years and years and years to finally accept, thank you, Tori, to accept who I am, that I'm not like that, because she's always rejected the idea of how I am. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but I mean that like she can't accept it. Like whenever we'd be around each other over the years and I'm the way I am, she'd be like, Reese, they don't want to know that. Why did you share that? That's a part of your life. You don't need to share that with strangers. Like she's always been that way. And I've always been the opposite. I'm totally out in the line at Target getting ready to pay. And I'm like, has anybody used this yeast infection cream? Like, can I get a review on it? Should I get the little suppositories or do I do the oral? Like I have no problems being that way in life. And my mom gets highly embarrassed. She's very much the opposite. So that's all. Happy birthday to your mom tomorrow, Elizabeth Frazier. Her name is Diane and she's Italian. That's weird. Okay, that's weird. Hey, Elizabeth Vigil. Hey, DP in Tennessee. Yeah, it's just my mom has a tough time with me. We were in the Costco line today. Shamey. And hey, Lucia. There was an older guy in front of us with a Harley Davidson hoodie on. And the people next to us were getting a 90-inch TV. Okay. It was insane. And my mom goes, she says to me, she goes, who would buy look at that thing. She goes, who's buying that? Hey, happy birthday to Ken tomorrow. That's awesome. I didn't know tomorrow was your birthday. You sweet little Scorpio. Happy birthday. She goes, who would buy that? And she's trying to be quiet. Hey, Tony P. And I'm not quiet ever. And I said, you know who's going to buy that? Who do you think's buying that? I said, it's the same dick swinger that has a giant ass truck with the big wheels. And I said, he wears white Oakleys. I guarantee it. He's got like the giant Oakleys. And the dude, I said, you know, it's a man, no matter what. I said, you know, it's a guy buying that thing. And the Harley Davidson guy turned around and he goes, it's a man. You're sure it's a man? And I said, oh yeah, I know it's a man. And my mom was like, Reese, like she gets so uncomfortable. Yeah. And, oh, thanks, Wendy Brewer. And he goes, he goes, I didn't, he goes, I never considered that before. And I said, he has a big, giant, and my mom looked at me and she went, Reese. And I said, truck, mom, truck. And the guy goes, feet, hands. And I said, no, guys, I wasn't going to go there. He has a giant truck with giant tires. I was like, that's just, it's just easier to stereotype. I know who it is. I already have him in my mind. His name is like Brent. His name's probably like Clayton. No, I don't know. It's definitely a dick swinging man. Yeah, it's not a woman. I promise it's not a woman. And he said something about his shirt. He goes, and let me guess. He goes, I'm just a Harley Davidson guy. And I said, judging by your ostrich skin boots, yes, I knew you were a Harley Davidson guy before I even got up to the top of your outfit with your giant Harley Davidson sweatshirt, sir. Incarnasoul. Who buys a 90-inch TV? And then my mom starts getting embarrassed, like we were too loud. And she's like, well, maybe they have like a game room or something. Like she's trying to like, shh. I was like, they don't, Mom. They have a giant truck. They have a dick swinging truck that they have to like climb up into. And I guarantee you they have a pair of white Oakleys hanging from the flap thing above. And they're going to put those things on. And then they're going to play Creed. I guarantee you. They're going to turn that truck on and it's going to be like, with arms wide open. I guarantee you. I have no doubt of who this person is. His name may not be Brent, but it's probably more like Duke. It's probably something like that. I've seen it 100 times. We don't need to go there. I already know. Anyway, the point is, that's my mom. She was like, Reese. Like, that's pretty much my mom ever since we met when I was 18. And it's not stopped. And I really wish she would understand. Kathy. Under the sunlight. I knew it. I know Creed. Stop it right now. That's the worst. They're the worst. They're the worst band, but it sucks that we all know who they are. Like everybody's guilty right now. Everybody raise your hand. We all know it. Like, don't be judging. Oh, see? But I'm a female. Okay, Mike Jesus. All right, well, you get a pass. You stand alone, fancy face? No, get out of here. Everybody knows. What's the other Creed song? What's the other one? Joe Virus. It's so crazy too. Worse than Nickelback. What's a Nickelback song? Oh my God. I've seen those little like reels. You saw Creed live. Mr. Pants, I will never look at you the same again. My own prison. It's the worst. I'm embarrassed. I'm getting hot. Like I'm actually embarrassed. Higher. I remember that song, Cindy B. Need a card. That's the worst. Oh my God. You know that, but I've seen the little what are those called? Reels. And it shows some dude singing a Creed song or like blasting Creed. And the guy's like, shut that shit off. And he's like, with arms wide open. Like he's so embarrassed to sing it. Everybody knows. This is how you remind me. I love this crowd. Oh my God. They haunt me. Oh no, that sucks. I know, Creed. That's the worst. That's the worst. Oh, it's so bad. Yes, that's the guy right there. Nickelback and Creed CDs in his lap. Your son's name is Brent. He's the farthest person away from being a D-swinger. Around Brents tend to lean toward being hockey fanatics. Okay, fine. Somebody give me a dick swinger name. Give me the name of the guy that drives the truck today that bought the 90-inch TV. Because we all know he's a tripod. He wants us to know. He wants us to know with his giant truck and his giant TV that he has to buy special pants to hold. Brock. Yes, that's it. It's Clint, probably. Bubba, I don't see it as much. Justin, that's the worst. Actually, Rod might be the worst. Chet. Grant? No, that's a fancy name. Don't ruin Grant. Kevin, possibly. Geoff. Biff. Oh my God. You guys didn't disappoint. Holy shit. Ed? No, that's classic. Tommy. It could be a name like that, though. Like Johnny, Tommy, Benny. The worst name out there, guys. The absolute worst. Donnie. I can't say it. Donnie. Like Donnie is the worst name to me. It's so 90s. I have cat hair in my nose. Brad. That's terrible. Gunner. What about Cletus? Probably a Cletus. Tommy, but he goes by T-Bone. Oh my God, that's right. That's probably it. His name is Troy, but he goes by T-Roy. That's what it is. That's what it is. You got it, Rain. That's it. T-Roy. That's probably who bought it today. Definitely. Big John. Yeah. Yeah. Larry. You're in Tennessee now. Yeah. Oh, it's different here. A Don with a Harley. Oh no. I'm so glad the lifeboat isn't. We're not making fun of Tommy. Different Tommy. Definitely Abigail. The cellist. It's probably something like the cellist. Yeah, definitely. The cellist is going to go to Hellist. Chuck. Definitely a Chuck. Yeah, no question. Yeah. T-Roy is kind of like Aaron. Similar. Mehoff. Jack. Yeah. It's terrible. Guys, I love men, but like they're ridiculous. They're so different than a Cliff. I haven't seen a Cliff in a long time. Ricky, oh man. I guarantee he has to take a running start just to get in his truck. I guarantee it too, Amy Edge. I guarantee it too. Hey, Lacey Silver, Chad. Yeah, but he goes by the Chad. Dan O'Connor is incredibly dicky. He goes by the Chad. It's not just Chad, it's the Chad. Yeah. You know, he goes by like something fancy, like T-Roy. That's what Seth. Yeah. Oh, see, I knew it. Brock with a huge truck. Wow. I just wish, like I said this when we were in Florida. Remember the dick swingers that were like revving up? It does, Annie Strews. The dick swingers that were revving up their cars. You guys remember that in Clearwater? Why do guys think that we like that? It's crazy. Like we have to stop this lie. Creed. I'm trying to think of the other songs they sang. All I can think of is With Arms Wide Open. It's awful. Chaz. Yeah, Chaz. That's terrible. T-Roy. I think so too, Susie B. See, Susie Q. T-Roy. Yeah, I think it's a T-Roy situation. Duke. Yeah. My Own Prison. Yeah. It's really embarrassing. The only reason I'm admitting to it is because I know you all know who Creed is. Like, I'm not the only one. That's like the other day when I really was embarrassed and I admitted to liking the movie. What was it? I can't remember now. What was that movie? Oh, Blink 182. I kind of like, I'm not as embarrassed to admit to Blink 182, to be honest, Kestrel. Aren't they from Omaha? No, I'm thinking of 311. What movie was it that I was embarrassed? Oh, isn't there one called like 6 Feet Under? What was the one where they sing about like being underground? When he's saying Argoine open, he stretched his arms out wide too. Where is that dude? Living in Catherine B's town. Can you take me higher? Collective Soul. See, again, I'm not as embarrassed about that. I'm not as embarrassed. My Sacrifice. Oh man. What was the movie that I was embarrassed about? Wild Hogs. Yeah, that was a bummer. Megalodon. That was a huge embarrassment. I think it was kind of meant to be, though, at the same time. I mean, I hope so. I hope that for Jason Statham, to be honest. I'm trying to think of another band that was like super embarrassing that we're all in, like, hey, Alex Moore, that we're all embarrassed to admit to. I love Counting Crows. Oh, I'm not ashamed to admit that. I still listen to Counting Crows. Again, they're from Omaha. I'm kind of proud of that. Naked Lady Mudflaps, Dingle Balls from Bumper. What the hell, Lisa? Lisa is saucy tonight. That's hilarious. Scott, is that guy a recovering addict from Creed? That's kind of cool though. Three Doors Down. I mean, they're embarrassing, but they're not. I'm not embarrassed to admit to it. I'm not that embarrassed. Yeah, you loved Wild Hogs. Ooh, I'm embarrassed to admit it. Air Supply. What's my favorite music, books, and movies? Okay, I don't really do a lot of reading anymore these days. I don't really have that kind of time. I love the Gin Blossoms. And I don't watch movies anymore. Thank you, Tony P. I don't watch a lot of movies anymore. But like my favorite classic movies, Caroline, welcome. One of my favorite movies is Practical Magic. My favorite music, my favorite band is called The National. Dawn, I believe it. But other than that, I don't listen to new music. I really only listen to like 70s, 80s, and a little bit of 90s, and that's it. So you'd catch me listening to like Tom Petty, The Stones. I love Billy Joel, Nickelback. Oh man, Tool wasn't bad. They weren't bad. The National, I've seen them 3 times. They are my absolute favorite band. I love Matt Berninger. But other than the National, it's weird. I don't listen to any newer music. So you're only going to catch me listening to older music. Oh, really being Nancy? Billy Joel is timeless. I love Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, of course, Fleetwood Mac. Interesting, Joe. I've never heard of them. Nickelback is not good, Lizbeth. Not good. I love Bob Seger, the Eagles. Yeah, Van Morrison. That's more my jam. I love Supertramp. The Goo Goo Dolls. They're from the 90s, I think. That happened to next to my house. Big white trucks making my house shake. So I called the cops who insisted they move out to the street. So they parked right in front of my house, revving their engines. Yeah, it's really embarrassing for them. And I wish they understood that no one cares. I love Journey. Yeah. Oh, Susanna. Absolutely. I love Journey. Oh, I remember that song. Never made it as a wise man. Couldn't cut it as a poor. Is that Nickelback? Oh, it's so embarrassing. What kind of music does Huxley listen to? I have no idea because the kid's always walking around with headphones in. I don't know. That's why he asked for new headphones because he broke his. They broke. Well, I don't know if they broke. Like, I don't think he broke them. I think they were just like 5 years old and they crapped out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't hear his music out loud. That was Nickelback. Oh, it's so embarrassing, Kayla Brennan. Oh, I'm embarrassed. I love Chicago. I love Foreigner and the Eagles. Absolutely. And Journey. Yeah, they're great. Poison. All right. Yeah. Guys, this wasn't intended to be about this tonight. The Bee Gees, absolutely. Hall & Oates, throw it at me. Absolutely. You saw Nickelback in concert. You're admitting to it here. Okay. Nobody make fun of Lizbeth right now. I'm proud of you for coming forward, Lizbeth. We've all made mistakes. Okay. We've all made mistakes. I watched Wild Hogs and admitted to it here. I think we should all admit to something really embarrassing right now for me and Lizbeth, honestly. Like, we need to take a moment. I love Supertramp. B-52s, absolutely. Oh, I love Queen, Downs Mom. Hey, Elaine. ABBA, yes. I would love to see the Eagles. Don't be embarrassed, Reese. John Prine. All right. Yes. Queen. Definitely Granny. Queen and ABBA. Ooh, that's cool. True to it. Oh, that's why. Listen. They opened for someone I wanted to see. Sure they did. I like how you're changing the story. I would change it too, though, honestly, Lizbeth. Matchbox 20. Ooh, yeah, that's embarrassing. You're Italian, but you don't have a beard. I definitely do. Bon Jovi. All right. Hey, no one. Okay. You had the Donnie and Marie Barbie dolls, Jessica LaBarber. You saw Collective Soul? That's not terrible. No one's admitting anything embarrassing. Taylor Swift is a Scientologist? I don't think so, Rach. Pretty sure that's not true. I never saw Purple Rain, the movie. A George Michael fan. Isn't that the dude? I told you guys, it was such a missed opportunity. If I ever get married again and he's old, I want our wedding song to be I will be your father figure, put your tiny hand. Isn't that what he says? That was such a missed opportunity with Jeff. Why didn't I have that be our wedding song? Like, why didn't we dance to that? I love Prince. Nobody's admitting to anything embarrassing. I'm kind of mad about it. Okay, everybody had New Kids on the Block posters. Helena, please send that to me. Thank you for your super chat. Rod Stewart, all right. 80s hair bands all the way. Yeah, Diane, no question. Creepy, says Kim is Blue. Your fiance is 22 years older. Those are rookie numbers, and I'm not impressed, okay? I'm not impressed, baby doll. However, I don't mind if you steal that as your wedding song. I will be your father figure. Where's Marilyn? Somebody said Marilyn's in here? Why don't I see her? Hi, Marilyn. Hey, Kenny Adcox. I refuse to. That's all right. You win tonight, Alicia. I refuse to be embarrassed about anyone I like anymore. Same. That's absolute truth. We learned that on our last stream, did we not? Reese is going to start band wars. Here goes. Lumen says, I'll be the first to admit it. I like Phil Collins. I don't know what's wrong with Phil Collins. What's wrong with Phil Collins? Hey, Marcy. Annika's mom. No, you're not. No, I haven't. No one. You love Kid Rock? Okay, that's embarrassing. Kenny Adcox, thank you for admitting that. We got another one that admitted some things. I love the Bloodhound Gang. This isn't working anymore. Oh, holy shit. It's really bad. So I've been using this for years, and I've noticed like 6 hours go by and I start to smell like a prisoner. I use Lume deodorant. I've always loved it. You know, it doesn't have the what's it called? Aluminum in it, but suddenly it's really, really bad. Like I smell really bad. Ricky Martin. Okay, that's embarrassing for sure. Yeah. Thank you for admitting that, Bo Beats. The Hansons. I remember that song. Yeah, Christy Lynn Wilson. I don't know who Jason Donovan is. Spice Girls. In Sync. Oh, man. Does anybody else use Lume? It makes you stink? Oh, yeah, that is ripe. It's not good, and not in a good way. It's really bad. I'm glad I'm here by myself. I just got a text that says Lume starts to smell like sweaty man ass after a while. I have the best friends. It's after a while. Yeah, I guess after a couple of Billy Idol. I'm not embarrassed about that. I like Billy Idol. After a couple of years, do you just start to smell like your unmentionables, like in a bad way? Finally, a true Lume review. I used it for a long time. I've used it for years. I don't like using deodorant that has all that stuff in it that causes breast cancer. So I try to find something else. But I really, really smell like a taint. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm gonna have to find something else. If anybody has any recommendations. What was I actually had things to talk about tonight, by the way. All right. It's bad. All right, so I made some notes. Let's switch. What are we, 49 minutes in? That's fine. Can we switch over? Because I actually had a topic. Avril Lavigne? She was all right for me. Tell us about Wyatt. Kim is blue. Okay, love you too, Tori. Thanks for being in here. Who the hell is Adam Ant? I'm happy for you about that. True to it. Hey, Susie Oberholtz. Try native. It smells better. Does it have what's it called in it? Baking soda? Makes me get all itchy. All right. Can we switch over? I want to switch over. Are we good switching over? I want to talk about it. I want to talk about therapy yesterday. That's why I titled this Pick Me a Fruit. Bye, Jane. Pick me a fruit that won't rot. Because what I'm finding, isn't it funny how we just switch? We can do that. We go into the weeds here. I'm finding, look, it's Susie CJ. Hold on, before I'm finding things, I have to talk about her. Milk of Magnesia is great. What the hell is that? My mom is a pharmacist and did her thesis and actually made roll-on deodorant with it. Where do I get it? What is it? What does it come in, Susie? Okay. Thank you for this recommendation and your super chat. I'd love that. True to it. Okay. So here's what I'm finding. And this sounds like a bad thing, but I don't think it is. I think it's a good thing. Honestly, I think new topic, Melissa, new topic. Can I live Thanksgiving? That would be really cool. If I got people's okay on that. I kind of doubt that I will get an okay on that, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Of course, you guys are all going to be doing your own Thanksgivings. No one's really going to care that much. Pick me a fruit that won't rot. The reason for that is I'm finding I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings with the live I did the other night, as far as like, I don't want anyone to feel like because I've been burned by friends or kind of screwed over lately, that I'm not your friend anymore or that I'm turning my back on you. That's not what's happening. However, I do have to draw some boundaries, right? Like I feel like there are hey, Matrix Rabbit, there are certain people out there these days I'm finding that feel that I owe them. Switching over, we're just switching over Bo Beats to a different subject. I feel like people get the impression, some people get the idea that I owe them, right? That like they're entitled to me for some reason. I also find that actually I saw a really cool, okay, good. I'm glad, Dawn, to hear that. I saw a really cool quote. Now, I don't know if it's really Mike Tyson, by the way. I will be your father figure. Look at this. I like this quote. A man that is a friend to everybody is an enemy to himself. I like that. I like that because I feel like hey, Rio for life. I got this channel. I feel like I came out guns blazing, right? Like I came out of Scientology and hey, Holly Smith, Puka Vista. I don't mean like I don't owe you guys anything. I don't mean it like that. And I know that you didn't take it that way, by the way. But I do feel like to what extent? Like I came out of the gate on this channel and everybody and myself included, I was like, I want to be friends. I need friends. I want friends. I want friends. But some of them ended up not being good friends to me. Some of us ended up not being a fit. And some of them chose to like really take a lot of anger to that. And some of them walked away peacefully. And I feel like I then got really high anxiety and panicked because I was like, no, like I didn't want to lose anybody and I didn't want to hurt anybody. And I still don't want to hurt anybody. But the fact of the matter is, like, I'm one person. I have people who get upset with me if they haven't heard back from me in an email or if I didn't say hi to them in the chat. Like, I can't give everything. I've tried. And then I find I wear myself out. Absolutely. Joel Sachs nailed it. You find out real fast who your friends are when you set boundaries. I had to have a conversation with someone recently that said something like, Well, I've had several people actually reach out to me and say, like, it could hurt people's feelings, because you're kind of punishing us all. Like, there's good people out there, and you're kind of like pushing them out of the way because of the people who screwed you over. And some of us have done really good things for you. Some of us have like super chatted you, or some of us have. And I'm kind of like, what does that mean? Like, to what extent? What does that mean? I can't, I can't be everywhere at once. And I also find like, let's flip this around. I don't talk about this, and I'm only going to say it just because it's part of the example. I've given money to quite a few of you. Like, I've had people reach out to me and say, "Can I post this? Because I'm really struggling right now." I would say there's probably about 10 people that I've given money to. I've not given it a second thought. I gave money back to the people I didn't go on the cruise, remember? So I gave them their money back. Like, it goes both ways as far as, but once you do that, I would never expect anything in return. Hey, nothing but love. And this isn't about like gifts and money, but at the same time, when you give something to someone, I don't think it's cool to expect anything in return. But I also don't think it's cool to not expect anything at the time. But then when things don't go your way down the road, you use it to go, I gave you things, or I bought this for you, or I anything. And I'm talking about like in a marriage, I'm talking about parents, I'm talking about friends, anything. It's so uncomfortable to me when someone's like using that against you later on. Because, hey, Marlugo. Oh, that sucks. I hate that for you. Tommy is really sick too. Thank God I got him to go to the doctor today. Marlugo, I'm sorry, babe. You just rest up. I accept Venmo. That's hilarious. But I am finding way more as far like the people I gave money to. And before I ever started my channel, I've given money. Love you, Jessica LaBarber. To things. Like, I give money like you guys give money as far as like what I'm passionate about. If I have money to give, I don't care if it's $5, but like I've given money to things, right? What I'm passionate about. But I not once do I think like, if I do this, what are you going to do for me? Or you're or worse, I am now entitled to you. I now have some form of power over you. And like I said, this could be on YouTube. This could be a relationship. I don't like that because it's like, so because you super chatted me or because this or that, like you have some kind of power over me, that makes me very uncomfortable. That's why I've never asked for money. If we've thought about that, we've talked about that. I don't ask for money. People give me money. It's a known fact. People get really pissed about the fact that people give me money. People get mad about super chats, gifts on the Amazon wish list for Huxley. People get mad about all that stuff. And I don't care about that anymore. It doesn't even matter to me. People are going to get mad about anything these days, whatever, let them get mad. But people are weird about money, and it doesn't have to be money. It could be like, I did that thing for you. I did that favor for you. Like, so you're going to pull that out of your back pocket and hold that against me later on because I'm not doing exactly what you think. The point of this is, Sandra, I will get to your message. Yeah, content creator is a job. I'm not even going over that anymore. I don't care. But the point is, this goes back to the conversation I had the other day. Let me fall. Stop guiding me. Bye, DP in Tennessee. We got your Venmo, girl. Stop telling me what to do. And I'm just saying this as a general message. I'm not talking to you guys necessarily. Yes, Alana, when someone gives a gift, that's it. No expecting anything back. Also loving your new mods. Do I have new mods? Thank you, Marlugo. I love my mods so much, and I love you, girl. Thank you for that. This is why ages ago I said I would pull back a bit because I felt you would get overwhelmed, and not everyone would have the best motives. You are only one person, and we do not own you. Alana, and I love this too. There's so many of you. The names in here are people that have been with me forever. And I appreciate that so much because you guys really get me. And I don't. Oh, I love that. You should also donate to the SPTV Foundation. Absolutely. And I think people do for sure. And I like giving my time to the SPTV Foundation as well. Christy Lynn, By my super chats do not obligate you to be my friend, to message me, to shout me out in a chat. It's just gift with no strings. Love yours. Well, Christy Lynn, I know that. And thank you for saying that. But it's uncomfortable. It makes things weird when I feel like I'm not talking about just YouTube. I'm just talking about the subject in general is an awkward subject. Thank you, Mr. Pants. Because up until about 3 days ago, I've had a huge shift, by the way, in my way of thinking. Just this whole God thing coming into my universe, like thinking about a different path, thinking about a connection to God or whatever that may be. I feel way more powerful in my own mind. I feel way more less alone. And I feel way more, hey, Martha Slemmer, like I can draw boundaries. I don't know what happened, but I feel a big shift as far as like, I don't have a problem anymore using my voice as much to draw a line, even if you think it's going to create a problem. Thank you, Kathy Ann. I'm trying to think of how I want to articulate this, and I don't know. Well, here's one of my notes from therapy right here. And I wrote this down. Compliance addiction. Addicted to being compliant. I am addicted, or I'm breaking that, to being compliant, to being fitting and molding and shaping. Hey, Alicia, fitting and molding and shaping into what you need me to be. And not you. I'm talking about I did that with my ex-husband. I do that in life. Like, I don't want to overstep. I don't want to be myself. So I'm going to kind of like shape shift and match your energy. And no, I'm not doing that. I also don't want to offend anybody. I'm not like out here going, F you, I'm going to be who I want. No, but I don't see anything wrong with, I like that. You're going through a huge awakening. Compliance is the opposite of courage. That's amazing. Yes, Lumen, I can see that. I can believe that. I don't see anything wrong with losing. It's like, who said that? Was it Joel Sachs? You'll find out who your friends are real fast when you start drawing boundaries. And I should have done it all along, but I just think I think it's a strength thing for me. I'm not afraid to. Do I want to be back in Scientology? I'm curious because you use the terms a lot in general conversation. No, Claire Bear, it's just something I still do. I definitely don't want to be back, but it's just, I assume, Claire Bear, that it will fall off organically, but I still talk like a Scientologist for sure. And it doesn't really bother me. I hope it doesn't bother you guys. But yes, Duchess Diana, are you feeling finally like you can choose what you want in so many ways? Yes. It is hard, Claire Bear. Yes. And there are zero boundaries in Scientology. Susie Q is absolutely right. And it's like the other night when I brought up Tommy. I thought for sure I was going to lose hundreds of subs. I thought for sure people were going to be like, oh, well, you're too wishy-washy. Like, we hate him. So I got the best feedback. And I think it's because I just thought, I'm just going to make choices. Why? This really looks bad. So sorry, guys. It's pretty bad. I'm just going to make, Witchy Trista, I bet, girl, there's a lot of it. I'm making choices that I'm just kind of feeling. I'm feeling something more of a higher power. I don't know what it is, but I feel way less alone. I feel way more guided, and I'm just going to go in the direction that I feel is absolutely true for me and right. And before, that's not what I was doing. I was forcing things. I was forcing things because I was like, well, she's a friend. I don't think she meant it that way. I would justify things in my mind. If somebody hurt me, I would think they didn't mean it. Like, it's cool. It's not cool. Like, I don't want to hear from anyone anymore that I know doesn't have my best interest. And I think there's a few of them out there. I think there's I think there's hey, Boudica. I think there's hey, Emmy Bob. There's way more that love us, love me, love this chat, love being here than not. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not sitting here saying like the bad outweighs the good. It doesn't. Love wins in this chat, guys. I'm all about it. But I do know from experience lately that I have been somewhat burned by some very close people to my heart. And I think that I'm learning without becoming bitter, but I'm learning to speak up. You are throwing off the chains of codependency and not having to be a constant people pleaser, learning to say no. It's a serious thing to learn, but I really am, Liz Trix, and I appreciate that so much. It's exactly what I was trying to say. It's exactly what I was trying to say. Thank you, Liz Trix. I want to say something else because I made a lot of notes. Okay. Yes, Granny G. I just want to say thank you though, because you guys are, I didn't expect this kind of feedback. I expected people to be, hey, Boris, I expected people to be like, we're not cool with that. Like, you're not who you say you are. You're changing. No, I'm growing. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think I want everyone to reach this. I want every, especially just people who have backgrounds like me, like Lumen said, she had very authoritarian parents. Just a girl and her cat, welcome. I want people to reach this because I feel so much different than I did, if that makes sense. I feel so much different than I did in the last few days. I feel more powerful and I just feel like I feel less alone. Knowing a higher power makes you feel safe. It's safe, it's probably not the word. It's more, I feel more clear. Things are more clear for me. Like, I feel more sure. I feel more sure. Like, I used to think like the negative, like, well, this isn't confident. Yes. I used to feel like, well, this YouTube channel is going to flop. I'm just waiting for that to happen. In the last few days, I'm like, that's not going to happen. We're going to grow. Like, I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel so like just scared and nervous and like taking one foot in front of the other is like so scary. I feel less afraid, if that makes sense. I have faith. I don't know what it is. Yes, Caitlin, do you feel more connected to yourself and your own mind? I do, but I feel like there's something else with me. And I don't know if that's God. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's some presence larger than me. Hope between the dreams, you're good. And people are either going to go and grow with me, the real friends, the real people who want, all of us who want to lift each other up are going to go along with us. But it's like Joel Sachs said, hey, Original Ann, the people who, definitely Kim Wiseman, the people who don't want that for me will make themselves known right away. Somebody said, Kim Wiseman just said, Fred. I want to touch on that because yes, I think Fred has a lot to do with guiding me to God. I've always felt that way. I think that started when I was with him. He talked about it a lot, and I was like, I'm not comfortable with this. He talked about it right before he died. He talked about what was going to happen after he died. And I've always felt close to Fred. We all know this. But I also believe that Fred was kind of a go-between. I always would say that, like, Fred is God for me. Well, I feel like Fred has helped me get out of Scientology. I think Fred had everything to do with Aaron outing me. I think Fred had everything to do with you guys helping me financially to be able to get divorced and moved and come here. I believe he is, Alicia, my connection to God. I believe that he's also very protective. And I think he has stuck it out and little by little helped me to see things. But I think the message I get is I couldn't show you everything at once. It would have killed you. It would have overwhelmed you. You would have never believed it. But I feel like Fred has slowly but surely been helping me to see things in my own time. This is not something I could have seen if someone else showed me. I had to see it in my own time. And I do think he's a guardian angel. I absolutely believe that. I know that because he also told me that. He was like, when I go home to God's house, I'm just going to be there, but I'll be watching. I will be around. And that was an easy way for me to accept a more godlike beingness, right? At the time, that was the best I could do to understand that. Fred definitely opened my eyes toward God more than anything. I still don't know a lot here. It's just I'm going off of what I feel. And I feel it. I don't know how else to put it, but I feel it. Please something be Gardner. Cry me a river. I can't quite make that out. You don't have to super chat me. Just tell me what you were saying. But thank you for your super chat. Anita Card, you are like watching a flower grow from a seed and pushing your way into a giant, beautiful blossom. It's humbling to witness. So here to watch the bloom. Thank you, Anita. That's such a nice thing to say. That's a really lovely thing to say. Thank you, babe. Thank you for your super chat. I love you, Anita. I don't want to make it weird. Like I'm not sitting here like God, 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 but I definitely feel some kind of a larger than me feeling. And it's something very spiritual for me. So anyway, the point is I've had this like shift in the last few days and I look at things differently as far as like I come here, I talk to you guys. And then I go answer as many emails as I can, but that doesn't make me like I started to feel almost like a slave to it. Like I have to do this. Like I was starting to get major panic attack, anxiety feelings, and too many people coming at me. But then I thought I trusted and loved everyone. But then some people pulled the rug out. Some people really hurt me. Things that could never be taken back. Right. And now I'm just looking at it not like it was a bad lesson. I'm glad I went through all of that. It's actually kind of comforting to know, like, okay, that's okay. Like not everyone is going to be who you think they are. Not everybody's going to be who they say they are. But all I can do is go forward and understand and accept the fact that you can't be entitled to me. I can't be a slave to this. And we're here because I love what I do, but I don't owe anybody anything. I want to naturally give people my time. I want to naturally answer those emails. The people who burn me and say like, "Well, you must not care because I sent you 3 emails and I sent you a gift." And I'm like, "That's hurtful. That's really hurtful. I'm one person. I've got 7,200 fucking emails. Like, I want to give you my time, but I can't do it at the expense of, having a breakdown either." And so I feel like I just took a deep breath and I got really calm. And in the last few days, I really felt a connection to something and it made me feel less alone and it made me feel very at peace. That's the only way I can describe it. I feel very at peace. Like I'm not worried about anything. Real friends that you travel the path you need to and offer encouragement and support. You grow, girl. I love you, Amy Edge. Thank you for saying that. That is such a nice thing to say, girl. Oh, hold on, Crime Me a River. Witchy Trista, it's okay to pick and choose what aspects of different spiritual paths resonate with you. Read and learn, adopt what feels right, and dismiss what. Yes, it's exactly what I'm doing. Thank you for that. And I also want to say, Grease, I said, please weed your beautiful garden. Something got changed after. Oh, that's great advice. Yes. I don't know. That's a great question. Why does one negative voice sound so much louder than the hundreds of positive voices? It's a great point. Boudica, dang, Boudica asked me a question. I missed it. Is it way back there? Boudica Boo, I can't find your question. Can you retype it? I went pretty far back and I can't find it. Silence is golden. Stop oversharing, Reese. Well, Lynn, thank you for saying that. I'll share what I want to share. I was actually just about to say that. I still am going to share all the things I want to, but I also think whatever I'm feeling, whatever this is, it also feels like something I don't want to go tell the world about, which is weird. But this feeling that I'm feeling with another beingness, or yeah, I don't know why you said that, Lynn. I know you're over in the lifeboat a lot. I don't know. Maybe you didn't mean it that way. Maybe you didn't mean it that way. This feels very private between kid. What are you doing, girl? Kid. Oh, that's a potato sack right there. Kid. Let me hold you. Let me squeeze it. Let me touch it real quick. Let me just get a hold of it really nicely. Let me just touch it. Let me squeeze. Oh, Erica. Oh, it's a lot though. Look at it real quick. Just look at it. When you say God, do you mean the Christian God or spirit deity? Okay, Buddha I don't know yet. That's an answer I don't have for you yet. Me too, Samantha Clark. I don't know. I don't know about a Christian God yet. I don't know enough about, like, I haven't read the Bible, so I don't know, Boudica, but I just know that I feel very, very peaceful with something that I'm going to call God. I don't know what that is, but I have to say two things. I feel this peace that washed over me, I've never felt before. I felt so much less alone, and I got this impression. It is sad that I can't thank everyone that sends you gifts and emails. It's very sad, and I have so many thousands of emails, and I absolutely try to. Like I when somebody sends me a gift, I search for them on Facebook and I search for them on email to see if I can find them to thank them. Sometimes they don't have one, and I can't thank them. I've thanked them here, but that's another thing. That's just a whole other thing, D. Thompson. But I'm definitely thankful, and I never take it for granted. But I felt this peace wash over me. But the other thing I felt was like, hey, Molly Lang, I don't know what it is, but I don't necessarily feel like I'm trying to like preach it to the world. Bo Beats, I love you, girl. I got to find your email. It feels private because I don't think I even know what it is yet, but it's a beautiful feeling. And the other thing that's like a message that's coming to me, I said this in my chat the other day. Growing up in Scientology, yeah, Joanne, absolutely. Growing up in Scientology, I feel like we were absolutely cheated. I feel like I wasn't given an opportunity to even know about God. And whenever I asked about God, I was absolutely shut down. There is no God. There's the dynamics. Scientology doesn't address God. We don't talk about God, and there's just not much of an answer on God in Scientology. So I feel very cheated. I feel like there was always this, hey, Sherry LeBrun, like big gaping hole that I had questions about, and it was mysterious, and I couldn't get answers. And I feel like they also were like, don't look over there. Don't look. You don't see that hole. That doesn't exist. Like, I feel like all this time, there's a chance that there has been something there. And I kept crying all day today. When I would just gush into tears. It was crazy, but I would start crying because I thought the message I'm getting is I was there all along. Like, you've never been alone. And I don't know if that's Fred talking to me. Hey, Linda Perales, but I got this idea like, no, you just weren't, like, the connection's been there, but it was cut off to me. That's the idea. That's the impression that I get. I'm not trying to make this a weird God talk because I realize not everybody's into God. And I'm not disrespecting people's like opinions here because I don't even know what I'm talking about yet. That's my point. But I get this weird, like, vague idea of like, you've never been alone. Every time I think about it, I cry. I get really emotional. But it's like this, like, you never were alone. They just shut the window on you. Like, you couldn't see it. You couldn't see me. You didn't know I was there, but I was. And I don't know what I is. I don't know who's talking to me. I don't know what that is. I just feel a relationship bigger maybe with the universe. Just it's something. It's something. And I want to explore it. I'm excited to explore it. And I feel less alone. If that makes sense. I just feel so at peace today. Yeah, Susan the Sage. So anyway, I thought that was really interesting. I'll stop there with that because I don't want to make it weird for the people who don't find this interesting and don't believe in God, right? That's why I think it's kind of a private thing. I've always felt like that's why we don't talk about politics here. It's not for everybody, and it's certainly not for me. But I also don't want to talk about Gina Erickson. Yes, Tommy told me about that. The footprints in the sand. Hey, brown spotted eagle. Yes, Duchess Diana. it's similar to religion and politics. Like, that's not really somewhere I want to go anyway, because it's just not for everyone. And I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. And I don't know what I'm talking about yet. I just can tell you what I'm feeling. It's just a feeling, but it's such a powerful feeling. It makes me feel very like things are going to be okay. You don't have to be as afraid. You don't have to be super stressed. I just feel like things are going to work out. Thank you, Buddha Kaboo. So I want to, yeah, Margie Barr. And it could have a lot to do with Fred, and it could have Tommy has talked to me a lot about God without pushing. And it could have a lot to do with Huxley. For some reason, my kid has had a connection to God since he's been born. In a Scientology household where we never talked about God, my child prays before he eats. He wears a cross necklace. He always has. It's very fascinating to me. And I've always been happy for him that he has some, like, that's my jealousy I've always experienced, is like people who have a faith in God, people who know where they're going. I've always been like, I never got that. I never had that. And I'm never going to have that. And for whatever reason, this window opened up the last few days. And I'm like, maybe I could have that. Like, maybe I could have a conversation. Maybe I should give it a try. And it just feels very natural to me. Granny G, absolutely. But I wanted to say there's something here. I made notes. We're not going to get into all these notes. Read Women Who Run with Wolves. It's an epic book. Interesting, Emmy Bob. It sounds epic, as a matter of fact. I love that title. Thank you for your super chat. You were made to forget. Absolutely true to it. And it makes me so angry. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That's absolutely right. Hey, Miss Weedy Poo. Thank you. I have one thing that I really, really talked about in therapy. I'm kind of switching the subject again. There's something in therapy. It is passenger shaming that I really connected with. And I want to tell you guys, because maybe you don't connect with it, or maybe you do. This concept. I also found recently about myself, I found out I have a hard time understanding details, and like specific instructions are hard for me to get. But I really, really, thank you, Little Mink. I really understand concepts better. Concepts make more sense to me while I'm trying to learn something, if that makes sense. Because there's so many things I don't know that I'm trying to learn, and the like details of it get hard for me, but I can understand a concept. And so that's how I'm learning. Even like I'm getting concepts in my mind that make sense to me. And nothing has ever made sense about God, by the way. I've always pushed it out. I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, that's weird. I don't feel that way. Kitty Whiskers 75, thank you for becoming a member, my friend. This is an interesting thought, and I want you guys to tell me what you think. This came out of therapy yesterday, and it really, really stuck with me. Thank you, Sassy. Where did I get this RR heart? Shit. Bauble bar. Bauble, B-A-U-B-L-E, bar, B-A-R. Yes, Laura Dupree. I just learned that about myself. Absolutely, Pat Jonas. Me too. Shauna B, I appreciate you saying that, girl. So I'm going to say this. What do you guys think of this? And again, this may be one of those things where like everyone's like, yeah, Reese, we already knew that. You're super fucking basic. I don't know simple stuff sometimes. And this really, really stuck with me. So I wrote it down. Yeah, Laura, for sure. Listen to this. I'm going to give you an example. The reason I wrote this down, I was talking about in therapy, the people that have hurt me that I never thought would hurt me, the people that really made me sad, that have left my life, that shocked me. And you don't know who they all are, by the way. Like, I know a lot of people are assuming who they are. You don't know, because I haven't talked about all of them. You don't know. Okay. Some of them you do, some of them you don't. But I have lost some people recently that really I was close to, and it makes me very sad. It has really hurt me, and I'm processing it still. So I was processing this in therapy. And this was interesting. Wyatt said to me, you have to look at the difference here. As far as like somebody causing you harm, and this can apply to like Thanksgiving dinner with family members next week that you don't want to see or you haven't seen in a while. I'm applying this to everything I can think of. How harmful is something? Take a step back. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out for a minute. This is an interesting concept. Is everybody listening? Are you guys with me? Thank you, Kathy Ann. Thank you, passenger shaming. Zoom out for a minute, okay? What's the radius of the harm? Hold on. Is something causing harm, or do I just have negative feelings and thoughts about something? Has anybody ever considered that? And you may not see the difference, but I do. Like, if you have a disagreement with someone and you're like, fuck that person, and like you get overly ridiculously upset, I've done it. Is that actually causing harm? Or do you just have negative emotions about it? There is a difference. For me, there's a big difference. And I overreact to things sometimes, but I also think it's really important. I think it's really important to know and see the difference for all of us. I think this is a huge lesson if you really think it through. Because if you go back and look at all your misunderstandings, your upsets, your fights, the reason you two don't talk anymore, whatever it is, did that really cause me harm? This is where I take a lot of accountability in things. Did this really cause harm to me? Or do I just have a major negative emotion about it? And I think that if you look at something that way, you can, like, once I looked at that, you wouldn't imagine all this I'm sorry texts I've sent out. I love nothing more than, I actually made a note. I write notes all day in my phone now, but I happen to have this notepad by me when I was doing therapy because I was writing down grocery lists. And I was like, holy shit, there's a notepad. But usually I put notes in my phone. What is this note? Oh, I said to myself the other day, and I wrote it down. I would rather sit and talk with you about an uncomfortable truth rather than sit in a comfortable lie. So I am the person, it's very important to me that if I realize something, I would rather be uncomfortable and have that talk with you than sit there comfortably like bullshitting each other or small talking each other. So I have sent out a lot of texts recently saying, hey, well, some people blocked me. I can't text them. But I've done this my whole life. Like once I look at something differently and I see it through a different lens, I have no problem texting someone and going, I was wrong. I was really wrong in the way that I saw that. And now I see it clearer through your eyes and why that hurts you. And I am sorry. I don't want to die knowing I hurt a bunch of people. Like, I don't want to hurt anybody anymore intentionally. I did that as a Scientologist. We don't have feelings or emotions in Scientology. We rip each other to shreds. Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate it, gal. I figured it was. The last thing I want to do at this point, I'm at the second half of my life. The first half of my life was garbage. I used people. We abused people. I used people to try to fill my father's shoes. I used people sexually. Like, I did drugs. I was very confused. I was horrible to people as a Scientologist, never had real connections or relationships with anybody. Everything was conditional. Now more than ever, I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to be open with you. I want to be pure. I don't want to be a liar. Like, I don't want to, people think I manipulate. None of that's true. I don't even care about that. But I would rather face uncomfortable truths than sit there comfortably lying. And people do it all the time. But I found this is what came up for me. Yeah, apologies and forgiveness is amazing. And I think you have to go into the thick of that. Thank you, Granny G. But I immediately wrote this down. Even Wyatt thought it was very insightful. I like having sessions with him now because he will say to me, he'll be like, wow. Like he will reach a point of going, hmm. He said that to me when we ended our session yesterday. He goes, I like your growth. He said, I told him about the flag building. And I said, it was really hard for me. I was talking on that stream. And then I said, I just kind of hit me. And I realized, hey, Dylan, I realized that flag building and what it represented. I realized my dad is probably in that building as I was talking. I realized my family was in there, Doug and Brenda Argis. I realized that's where it all began. The issues that have carried me forward 40 years now is what that building stood for. And the people I've lost, the people that I've lost outside of Scientology, the non-Scientologists that stabbed me in the back or that betrayed me or they think I betrayed them, whatever, they represent that building. So I've reached a new place where I'm not going to let people represent that building anymore. I'm not going to, yes, you took the power away from that building. I'm not going to let people walk all over me and make me uncomfortable. And I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. I'm going to make myself comfortable. Like we're going to make ourselves comfortable. And you're not going to represent that building for me anymore. That building has so much fucking power over me. It has destroyed me in many ways. It's shaped who I am as an adult woman. And it's not good. I've got a lot of faults. I've got a lot of flaws. There's a lot of broken pieces. But that's the cards we were dealt, right? Well, we can't just accept that and go, well, that's just the way we are. Nope. Got to deal with it now. We got to pick up the pieces. We got to glue things back together. We have to identify things. We have to apologize for things because hurt people hurt people. And I've hurt a lot of people because I'm hurt. So I'm going back now and I'm cleaning things up going, hey, I'm really sorry I did that. I was in the wrong. Right? So I thought this, you can share whatever you want. Just don't feel like you owe anyone. Thank you, Marlugo. I don't feel like I owe anyone anything anymore. I don't. And you don't owe me anything. It goes both ways. I want to be here openly, freely, because we all just show up and want to be here and learn something, talk about something, laugh about something, talk about how embarrassed we are that we went to a Creed concert. I'm not going to name any names, but thank you, Dawn. No, I don't record my therapy sessions, Bo. I just think people are going to screw up. People are going to hurt each other. People are going to betray each other. But how we deal with that going forward is really kind of tells me who you are. We're all flawed. Our characters are not going to be perfect, but how you come back and deal with it is what's important to me. Of course, you're going to lie. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. Of course, you're going to be manipulative. Of course, you're going to betray people. Like each decade, we're different people. Things unfold and some people grow and some people don't. And I can't just accept everyone as a friend because then I get burned. So I'm going to have more of a boundary. Not everybody has the same intentions, Rach. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. But I loved this, and I'm going to say it again. Oh my God, scared the ever-living out of me. Jeez Louise. Sir, let me help you. Here, I'm trying to help you. There. One of those little guys. He was on his back like a turtle. Scared the holy bejesus. Did my camera blur? I don't know. Yeah, Kay, I agree with you on that. I'm going to read this again. It's hard to meet people where they are at in a unique healing space like this. Well, actually, Dylan, you're right. But at the same time, Sassy Savage, it's one of those Japanese beetle bugs or something. I don't know. It looks like a ladybug. It's not. They're evil, I hear. I also feel like that's not true. If we make an effort to meet people where they're at, then our expectations aren't so high and then we don't get let down. That's how I feel. Like people who let me down, I'm like, well, why did they let me down? Because I had expectations up here because they're not doing what I would do. Well, they didn't do how I would react to it. They didn't respond how I would. So I'm hurt. That's ridiculous. Meet people where they're at. Why do you expect people to do what you would do? Why do you expect people to do any different? Hey, Colleen. Interesting. Yeah, just a girl and her cat. Anita, you know what's so ironic? That building was behind you in that life. Such a testament to the second half of that is ironic. I didn't think about it that way. That building was behind me. You're right, Anita. You're absolutely right. I'm going to let that go. That building I have to let it go. Molly Lang, live each day fully as you can and know your higher powers. Thank you. I think that's great advice. Laura, I love you, girl. I love Erica too. I met her in Seattle as well. Hey, my lawyer friend Denise. My friend that I had put expectations on tried to make lunch plans for today. She texted and canceled, but we will try again next week. No feelings hurt. We talked about this. We texted about this, Erica. I love that. I think our lives, I don't know. Trisha, thank you. I just think we set ourselves up for anxiety attacks and failure and expectation fails. And I don't think it has to be that way. But I also have to read this again. What is the radius of the harm? Okay. So if you had a fight with somebody or a breakup or whatever it is, and like whatever it was over, whatever the subject matter, humble and kind. Good to see you, babe. I wrote this. Is it causing harm? Or is it just causing me to have negative feelings about something, negative emotions about something? Because it is two different things. And I think this is great for content. I think this is great for any of us going forward to think about that before you blow up, before you go, oh my God, you're not who I thought you were, whatever. Did it actually cause harm? Did they actually cause harm? Or did it cause you? Like, you need to also pay attention to your triggers, right? We need to pay attention to our did it just trigger a negative reaction, a negative emotion? And some of you might be going, well, what's the difference? For me, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. Like if I broke up with a friend and that friend went and made evil content videos about me, right? And starts going public and like, Reese is a piece of shit. Here's what you need to know. That would be causing harm and super unnecessary, right? But that's the path they chose, whatever it may be, right? That would cause harm. But if we broke up and we just went our separate ways, but we said some hurtful things to each other, like, I thought you were my friend. I thought this, you didn't meet my expectations. You really hurt me. That would cause a negative emotion. It would make me very sad, but it wouldn't be causing me harm, right? Like, does that make sense to you guys? I would love your input on this, by the way. I don't know everything. It's just, I get little bits and pieces of things that help me, and then I bring them here. And I think it's just interesting to break that down. When I realized this yesterday, I started sending out apology texts because I was like, that didn't actually cause me harm. Love you, Denise. It just caused me to have really bad reaction, or it made me think of this with my dad. And so I blew up on this person, or it was too close to home here. So Shay B. So I reacted in a terrible way. Does that make sense? Like, things can cause negative reactions, but that's not necessarily harm. Thank you. Molly Moon. Thank you, Tony Hoban. It can be a little emotional harming though, and that's not okay too. No, I'm not saying that's okay, Mr. Pants. I'm saying though, like, my reaction to things may not need to be as strong as maybe they were. We're going to have negative emotions, but harm is different. Hey, Jeannie Hansen. I just really see that more clearly. I see that more clearly. I also more lately, I don't like how this is sounding. It reminds me of gaslighting, like making you feel bad for feeling bad and taking the blame away from people causing this. I don't understand how this is sounding, what is sounding. Like making you feel bad for feeling bad and taking the blame away from people causing this. I don't know exactly what you're referring to, Joe. Like my realization in therapy? Or the people that I've lost? I don't know what you mean, but I know that you will clarify for us. They're like a reddish orange. Yeah, they have ladybug spots. They look like ladybugs. This makes perfect sense. And reflecting on this and sorting things out with people after the fact is a huge part of your becoming more self aware. I love, love, love doing this. I love talking to people. Like I said, I'm comfortable in the uncomfortable. I have no problem tackling this shit head on. I have no problem sitting down with someone that I had a huge argument with, going, let's get into the thick of this. Now that we're not as angry anymore. Oh, yes, therapy. Joe, maybe I'm misunderstanding. Joe, I'm not fully understanding you, but you can text me about it. No, I'm not doing cognitive behavioral therapy. Shelly, like I said in the text, your growth is amazing. So happy to be here for your journey. Love you. I love you too, Shelly Kelly. Thank you, babe. Thank you for that text. It was really nice. Hey, Rochelle S. I love that. And that's true, too. Tracy, that's very true. I'm catching up. That building and everything it stands for will keep getting smaller and smaller. Yes, I think so too. You know what I loved about that building? Did you guys remember that night? Aaron was with me and he said to me, I don't know, like 20 minutes before I went to that building, he said, do you feel weird being here? He asked me some kind of a question about flag. And he said, does this make you feel weird? And I said, yes, it makes me very uncomfortable. I feel fearful. I feel panicked. I feel anxiety. I feel sadness, of course. And I said, do you? And I wish you could have seen the look on his face. I don't think he was on the stream. He looked sad, but he said, not anymore. And it just made me really sad. It just made me sad for everybody who's come out of a situation that was super traumatic. It was like it made me just look at Aaron and go, I wish I could take that away for you. I wish you wouldn't have had to feel it at all. Like, I wish we could have felt nothing, but instead they absolutely tried to take us down and beat us to death with all the indoctrination of Scientology. And I'm really starting to see how much more harm they cause than I realize. I used to think about Scientology, even I say used to, like months ago, and I'd be like, it's not that bad, guys. It wasn't that bad. In many ways, it was, because even the God thing for me, they took that from me. I did not get an option. They took love from us. Love was based on whether or not you stayed in Scientology and did the bridge. Children are just little bodies, big beings. We were not allowed to be children, right? So they took a lot of things from us that we weren't able to have a human experience on. Like crying, throwing fits, kids being kids, LRH says, when a child cries, you either need to, they're out rudes, they're out body rudes, they're either tired or hungry, take care of it and get back to work, clearing planet Earth. They're a nuisance. We didn't get to really have the human experience. And I hate that. And that was the look on Aaron's face. He went, not anymore. But it was sadness. No, I've masked it, or I've made peace with it, or I'm numb to it, or I've dealt with it. But it's really sad to me that he had to do that to begin with. He copes now, basically. I'm staying afloat. I'm better than I used to be. That sucks. That was robbed from you. I hate that look. I've seen it before. I've seen it on Sterling. I've seen it on Natalie. I've seen it on my own face. It's really unfucking fair. Those were the cards we were dealt, but we have to deal with it now. And I'm dealing with it. I'm really dealing with it. Takes a lot of practice. I struggle to avoid putting my insecurities onto others. I'm afraid of losing people or having one-sided relationships, not afraid to walk away though. Cherish high vibes. Yeah, I would say that we're similar there. We're similar there. Yeah, they stole our childhood. Yeah, no one. Absolutely. Hold on. In Scientology, no love. Approval is not the same as love. Love is HENR. That's kind of a weird question. I don't know how to answer the approval is not the same as love. Love is HENR. HENR is human emotion and reaction. I don't know that I would equate love to HENR in Carnosoul, but I would say love, like I never once have one memory of my dad saying, I love you. Not once. I can't think of one time that my father ever said that to me. So I don't know that it really exists. And if it does, it's very, very, very based on where you're at. Like if you're active and clearing planet Earth, they might be like, we love you. We're proud of you. Like, good. Now get onto your OT levels. But it's never based on like how the real human experience is with love. There are no real connections. There's just not. I know that now because I have real connections and I've never experienced that before in Scientology. Never. Never. And that's hard. Yeah. Boris is right. Wait, was that Boris? No, that was Jay Brimble. There are certain things you never get over. You just learn to live with it. Absolutely. You just learn to live with it. Hey, Diana H. And there are certain things that we are able to change, I think, as ex-Scientologists, and there's others that we can't. I think there are some things, I always think about it like this. Yeah, we were brainwashed for sure. But like, I hate to equate it to this, but it makes me think of like, hey, Carla, I feel like we were, like when you see those dogs and they're going through rehab because they were so badly abused, like maybe they were used for dog fighting and you just can't rehab them. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Some of them have to be put down because they just bite or they were just so badly abused. It's so effed up. And I hate people for that reason who abuse animals. But it kind of makes me think that it's like we're getting better. We're working with people to get rehabbed, to be out into the world, to fit in with the human race. But God, it's tough. Like there's just so many mountains we have to climb to get there. And I'm not just saying that about ex-Scientologists. I'm sure that's the case with a lot of people who came out of abusive situations, horrible parents, cults, all those things, right? This is not a Scientology situation. How did having Huxley change your feelings on Scientology? Well, that's a good question, Sassy Savage. Thank you, Mr. Pants. Ring a bell and I'll salivate. Yeah. Yeah. I see that, Blow Drill. How did having Huxley? That's actually a really good question. Having Huxley changed my perspective on Scientology. I was married to his dad, Michael, at the time. And we both, once we had that child and how much we loved that child, it put in, hey, Kasri, it really put into perspective. It really, really put into perspective our childhood. And we looked at each other and we were like, we will protect this child. Like we were forced into this. We knew it. We cognited, we realized that after Michael and I may not have really been in love in that marriage, but we were really close friends and we were very almost similar to me and Tommy. Like we were protective of each other. We were there for each other. We wouldn't have ratted each other out. Neither one of us wrote reports on each other. Like we were kind of each other's, I felt like we were a couple of kids that were like, don't tell. Like we had like a pact maybe. And as soon as we had Huxley, we were so in love with that child that it really brought up our own childhood trauma. And we were like, we'll die before we put him through this. We will not put him through this. Like, this is the one thing we're going to protect. Like, we will go to the org. We will get sec checked. We were getting sec checked. We had to be put through all of that torture. But we were like, we will not let him be a lab rat for Scientology, like all the other kids. Yes, I love that. When you had Huxley, you found out what true love really is. Yeah, we were each other's safe space. Definitely we had each other's back. Yeah. Is he still around or in Scientology? He's still around. He's 5 years younger than me. He's 35. He is not in Scientology, but the rest of his family are full-time balls to the wall Scientologists. And he's got so much mental issues from it. Like major, he's very unstable and he has a lot of trouble being out in society. He's socially has so much anxiety, so much. My in-laws took Huxley to the org a lot, absolutely, but we had set rules. Like there will be no Scientology done on him. He went to events. Huxley went to events with us. We took him to the org, but we always said he is not to do any services. Now, they violated that and they put him on a service without me knowing, and I lost my fucking mind on them. Huxley has had auditing and he started a course, and that was both behind our backs. They didn't tell us, and we lost our shit. How many years were you in the Sea Org? I was in the cadet org for less than a year, D. Thompson. I was 7. Do you and him openly talk about it to each other? Oh, who's you and him? Me and Michael or me and Huxley? Witchy Trista. Hey, Dania. Yes, Abigail, I would say he's emotionally crippled. Yeah, I would say that he has absolutely no tools at this point in life. Does he go to therapy? Last I knew, he has seen a therapist once or twice, but no, I don't think he has regular therapy, but I honestly don't know. That's the last I knew. But I have always said to him, you can always call me. I'm still very much his friend. Nice. I'm glad I did too. He has confided in me in like major things, and he cries to me whenever we talk. Like he has emotional breakdowns very easily. He's extremely fragile, I would say. He's extremely fragile. He was forced to do things way more than I was. He never, ever, even as a child, wanted to do Scientology. He told me once that, and his mom told me this story, which is super creepy. He told me that at like the age of 5, they forced him to go in and go on course. He doesn't have any friends. He has a girlfriend that he's had for a while. They forced him to go on course for the first time. And his brother, Sam is a year younger than me, I think. So his brother, oh yeah, they're 4 years apart, like me and my sister. His brother was gung-ho. Moose. Guys, I love Moose so much. It's weird. Just real quick. I don't know why, but Moose has an accent whenever I make him talk. I go, Mose. And he goes, Mama, please, Mama, let me go out and eat the mice, Mama. And I say, Mose, you have a cat food in here. And he goes, Mama, please. And that's how we talk to each other all day. Look at how cute he is. Look at how big he's gotten. Look at this. Is he the cutest thing? Okay, see you later. He told me that I know he's huge. He told me that when he turned 5, his brother, who was 9, no, I have 3 cats, Jane. None of them are really new at this point. I know he's huge. His brother, who was 9, became, at the age of 10, I want to say Sam at the age of 10, became a full-time staff auditor at the Church of Scientology, Kansas City. Okay. He was like their biggest producing auditor at the age of 10. He was in the HGC, the Hubbard Guidance Center, and they were billing auditor hours. Sam was a full-time auditor doing auditing on full-on adults. Okay. That stayed that way until he was 15 and he joined the Sea Org. So he was one of their biggest producing auditors by the age of 10. That was Michael's brother. Michael was the opposite. That was my husband. That's Huxley's dad. Michael was the opposite. He hated Scientology. He never wanted to do it. So at the age of 5, and Sam is 9, they're pushing Michael into the org to go do his first children's communication course. And Michael tells me this story. His mom told me this story, which is really fucked up. He was like, I was screaming and crying. I did not want to go. Like they had to like drag him through the door. Sam is married to Fiona. Yes. They had to drag him through the door. They had to like push him in. He was shaking. He was hysterical. He did not want to do it. And that never stopped. He never wanted to do Scientology. He's never taken to it. And Meredith Lynn. And to this day now, he gets like super shaky. He gets physically ill. He has a hard time talking about it. He cries. He was forced, very forced against his will. I didn't feel as forced against my will. I just felt I didn't have a choice. Like, I wasn't like, no, I don't want to do it. In my head, I was that way, but I was like, there is no way around this. Like, I am going. It's almost like a judge sentencing me to prison. Like, you're going, right? Like, that's how it felt. I know, Anita. Hey, Allie, they absolutely broke him. He is not near as strong. Like, he has major, major issues about this. And something really shitty, like, they tried one last ditch effort. They showed up at his job a couple of years ago. The Sea Org came to town and they showed up where he worked in a public place. And he almost pissed himself. He was so nervous. He was so scared. They showed up and they were like, you're going to have to come talk to us over here. And he was like, I'm at work. This isn't the Church of Scientology. I'm in a fucking public place, like at my job. And they didn't care. Like, they don't care at all. They were like, you're coming with us. You need to answer some questions. He refused. He went and got his boss. And the boss was like, I don't think he does, Holiday. The boss was like, what's going on here? And they were like, stay out of it. We need to have a conversation with this young man. Yeah, it was really wild. So he threatened to call the police. That's a huge deal. You don't do that in Scientology. Well, that made them leave, freaked him out, like re-scared him, right? Like, he's already like getting better, but like re-injured him as far as his anxiety. Guess what they did? They went back to the org. It's almost like they did this intentionally. It's like they trapped him. They went back to the org and they wrote a suppressive person report on him, and they were trying to get him declared because of what he did. He threatened them. Well, guess who gets in trouble for that? His mother, who's a 40-year staff member. She gets in trouble for that. So it was just a whole thing. I was around for it. It was a whole thing. And I'm so happy he stuck up for himself. But that's just a tiny example of like, he gets like physically shaky when he talks. He can't deal with it. He won't talk about it. Like, I wish, and I'm just saying this to you guys, I would not say this to him. I've said it to him once. I would never pressure anybody who doesn't feel comfortable. But I wish that he could come on my channel. I really think it would be therapeutic for him to tell his story, because he's got quite a story. I was married to him for 10 years. I know his story. And I do too, Rochelle. But he will probably always be that way. Bye, Just Joan. But it's really hard for me. And it's so like, it makes me insane. It makes me so sad that they ruined him. Like, they absolutely wrecked him. And maybe, I think one of the reasons he won't come on my channel and talk about it, probably because he can't. But if he could, I'm not sure that he would, because of his parents. I'm pretty sure they still probably give him money. And that's how they've always done it. Like, we will give you money to keep you compliant, right? Like, they always have done that. They've always enabled him with money. That's how they always did it. But yes, it's a very, very sad situation. It's a sad, sad situation. He doesn't do a lot to be able to help himself. I don't know. I would love. Doug and Brenda did him very dirty, and they would have done the same to my son. I'm just so glad that we're disconnected from them now. I never thought I would say that, but Scientology really did a lot of harm. And I feel very thankful and very lucky that I go to therapy, that I can keep up with therapy. I know, that's another thing, is like, people need it, I think, more than they realize. Mental health is super important, but it's also super expensive. I feel very grateful that I can see my therapist. Michael's grandparents were not Scientologists, Abigail. Oh, I've talked with him at length about this, guys. He has cried so many tears with me privately, just being his wife at the time, but even after we were divorced. I told you, I have had so many private conversations with him where I've said, "You can come stay with me." Like if you ever feel like you're not safe, like I've always told him, I will protect you. Like I will absolutely be there for you. I'm thankful for my relationship with him because it hasn't changed. Um, I don't know, Rach. I'm not sure. He does deserve a much better life, but he has so much social anxiety with people. They really effed him up. Scientology really fucked him up. And his parents didn't protect him. They pushed him into it more. And Brenda told me that not that long ago, not that many years ago, driving to our chiropractor one day. It was an hour drive. And she goes, I feel kind of bad as a mother that I forced it on him. She was like, if I had it to do over, I wouldn't have done it the way I did it. She goes, because obviously that didn't work. He's not currently a Scientologist. And she was like, I definitely forced him into it. And I was like, I think I was driving. And I remember being like, you're you're just realized like that kid is so fucked up. You have screwed him up so bad. Like that's where you feel bad about this. You forced him into things where he wasn't quiet about it. He was holding on to door frames, not wanting to go in. He was hysterical. He was crying, screaming for your help. No, I don't want to do this. And you made him do it anyway. And you're just now feeling like maybe you should have done things differently. That is so fucking evil. That is so horrible. It's really sad. It's way darker than you can imagine. It's way worse than you can imagine. His story is bad. It's extremely abusive. And again, I was married to him for 10 years. Kestrel, that too. Yeah. Pure evil, Jane. Pure evil. I hate those fucking people, to be honest. I hate Doug and Brenda Argis. I think they got away with crimes, to be honest. I think they think they're good people. I think I thought they were good people. And I see now clearly way more than ever, like how harmful those people were. Yeah. Bad, bad people. Really bad fucking people. So we're at the 2-hour mark. I always feel bad when we get to this point in the game because I feel like it's too long for people. But I have a whole list that I made of therapy notes. We're not done. I want to go over this some more, and we can talk about this subject more. If you guys want to talk about this sometime, I'm happy to talk about it. I like going into the thick of Scientology stuff. I think it's therapeutic for me. And if you have questions, I don't mind answering them. It's okay. I can deal with it. So, thank you for listening to me tonight. Thank you for everybody being here, all your super chats. And don't forget, everybody who is the upper tier Fred and Gertie member, we have our Zoom call this Sunday. I hope you can come. I'm sorry that it was this Sunday of the month. It's just me being in Clearwater, and then Huxley's birthday was last Sunday. So I kind of had to do it this time. Tanya, thank you for saying that, Tanya. This was your first live ever? It's beneficial. Wow. Thank you, Tanya. Oh my God, that's so cool. I love that. Thank you, Shelly. But this Sunday, we're doing the Zoom call at noon, the brunch Zoom call, and I'm really excited about it. Me too, Leticia. Me too. Thank you, Abigail. I love you guys. Jam Jam. I love you too, Don. Don't worry about it, guys. It's fine. We get to have this kind of a call all the time. I look forward to the Zoom calls because I can see their faces. That's all. It's just really fun and it's kind of intimate. It's just a nice thing to do. But don't ever feel like you have to be there. It's no big deal. Elizabeth Frazier. Hey, babe. Thank you. All right. So thanks again for being here tonight. We have a lot of thoughts still that I feel like I didn't get out. Don't worry about it, Angry in Texas. You'll catch us again. Thank you, Granny G. I love that you were here. Mary Barons, love you too. Let's do this again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? I keep getting this week effed up. I keep thinking it's either Tuesday or Thursday. Let's do a stream tomorrow. I'd like to continue on with these notes if we're cool with it, because I love getting into this stuff and then getting your input. It's really fun for me. All right, everybody, I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your super chats, always your wisdom, and your memberships like Jeannie Hansen. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, babe. It has, Kim is blue. I've got words. The Zoom call is a membership thing where you have either the upper tiers, the Gertie and the Fred memberships. I can see if a mod can post a link, maybe. I don't really know how to do it, though, other than that. Good night, Joe Virus. Boodikaboo, love you. Catherine B, I'll see you on Sunday. I'm excited to see you. Cursed diamond. Wow. That is a beautiful thing. I'm happy for you, Reese. I'm completing my last cycle of chemo for colon cancer, and my family, friends, and belief in God has been very comforting. That is amazing. Cursed diamond, first of all, welcome, and lots of prayers sent your way, my friend. That is amazing. Good for you. Chemo is really difficult, not because I know from personal experience, but I take someone to chemo, my dad. So thank you for sharing that with us, my friend. Yeah, that's how you join the membership, but don't ever feel obligated. It's just a thing that we do. All right, guys, I love you all. Erica, thank you for that. And I will see everybody tomorrow. Probably tomorrow earlier in the afternoon, we'll do a stream. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. And here comes Fred.